They were slanted, actually.
Yeah, I'm sure they were. A JCCI type study might be more of the order of things, with the whole concept being, we've got a sharp pencil here. Where can we start cutting things? Where can we red line out items? And come up with a proposal and see if we can take $100 million off the budget and get in track with a plan to reduce the pension costs and things like that.
Well, if people want to check out the Concerned Taxpayers online, it's jackstaxpayers.org. They actually have a proposed budget that would actually not just keep the taxes the same. They would lower our tax burden, and these aren't really major cuts to things that you typically associate with city government. It leaves the schools and the libraries and the roads and the city in fire, but it cuts some of the extraneous things. But one thing I want to actually ask the people out there to do, if you support the idea of smaller government and lower taxes, vote your conscience. I actually have a little printout. We have 3 people that we want to support. Other printout, please. For this Duval County, the Duval County Soil and Water Board, myself, Violet Skinner, Stuart Coffin, and the reason we support these people is because they're courageous enough to say we want to reverse the trend of growing government. They actually want to do what our current board has done and what the Florida Time Union suggests we do, and they want to disband the board because they know that there's people out there running for office that want to raise our taxes, and they have really grandiose, nice-sounding things that they want to do with the tax money, but at the end of the day, we feel that this is a political board. With these people that were running for this, they're not environmental scientists or experts.
Right.
So we feel that it's better that you keep your money, and you're the expert on how you can save the environment with your own money.
We're talking about the Soil and Water Conservation Board that you're a member of?
That I'm running for in November. Okay. Hopefully I get elected too.
Okay, great. And by way of example, the St. John's Water Management District used to be a very tiny, it's starting to get expensive to pay those people to steal all our water for people south of us.
And a lot of the things that the people running for our current Soil and Water Board propose to do is actually already done by the St. Johns River Management District.
Okay.
In fact, if you look at people's candidate statement, if they start talking about algae, dying fish, or urban runoff, St. Johns River Management District already deals with that.
Right, and so does the River Keeper, I guess, and has his input into that as well. And then I think you had mentioned to me earlier before we got on air about Amendment 9.
Yeah, and if we could put up the one handout with George Perry and I think it's Georgia is his name.
Yeah,
Jorge. Thank you.
Yeah, Jorge.
Yeah, well, we're here at the Libertarian Perspective. We want to basically ask people if you like the idea of what they did in Missouri, where they had a voter initiative where people could vote yes or no on whether they were. It's basically for or against the idea of the federal government controlling your choice in health care. Amendment 9 here in Florida would say that, look, if people want to get in, use this health care or use that, we want the people to be allowed to do what they want to do. However, these 2 justices kicked it off the ballot. You will not have the choice to express yourself by voting in November on this issue.
Well, they must have been joined by 3 other judges, or 2 other judges.
There were. These are the only 2 that voted against it that are up for re-election.
Oh, okay, for merit retention, right.
Yeah, and what it'll look like, it's basically a yes or a no. They aren't versus another candidate.
Sure.
There's going to be 4 people out for that vote. The other 2 were the dissenting votes, and they said, look, we want the people to be allowed to vote. I don't know their other record, but we really want to focus on these 2 because they're not letting us basically express ourselves, and the past case precedent from 2004 gives us the right to vote on it. They went against the case precedent.
If we have time, real quickly, if somebody wanted to get involved with the Libertarian Party, when and where are the monthly meetings?
Great question, and we always want people to stop by. It's usually a small group. People aren't always all that interested in politics, but to learn more, you can go to our website, jaxlp.org. You can call us at 731-5656, of course, or check us out on Meetup. But we consistently, for the last several years, we meet at the Tinseltown on South Side. It's cat a corner across from the Tinseltown movie theater. We meet every third Thursday of the month at 6:30. So in about a week and a day or two, we'll be having another meeting, and it's always a good time. We have people, a lot of people think, well, libertarians, that's the third party, so everybody thinks the same. No, we're a big tent group, and we have people with a surprising variety of different political opinions. But the main thing that we do agree on is that whether it's whatever's important to you, if it's important business, environmentalism, saving the children, government really is not the best way to get things done.
No, and that's been proven over and over again, and I think our current and past budgets reflect that fact.
Yeah, if it'd be one thing if people said, look, we've been increasing the amount we spend on public schools. The kids are getting smarter. No, that's not happening. Unfortunately, it isn't, and that's why you have things like you see a commercial for the Sylvan Learning Center.
Right.
That's when people say, well, what does private education look like? We already have it, but they do it in an hour after school instead of 8 hours.
And the increase in charter schools and their relative success is another example, I think, of that. But anyway, Bill, it's been great being here, and I just want to close by saying that everybody, when's the meeting on Thursday? It's 7 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30.
And also, we do have an outreach event we're going to be at. This may not be for everyone. I've gotten some flack for this, but this Sunday there's a gay pride event at the Arts Market downtown. We're going to have our booth letting people know what the libertarian perspective is. I don't think a lot of those people know about us. We want to let them know that, guess what? We don't care what you do. We're not going to get the government involved if you get married or whatever you do, as long as what you do doesn't affect us negatively. And also, we're for lower taxes. And I always see it. No matter what group we go out to, everybody likes low taxes. But it's time people start voting that way and supporting people that really want low taxes, and not just people that talk about low taxes in October.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, that basically wraps it up. We're going to cut it short here. Thank you once again for viewing the Libertarian Perspective. This is our last show before November, so please vote for our U.S. Senate candidate, Alex Snicker, our first statewide Senate candidate. Vote for me, Violet Skinner, Stuart Coffin for Soil and Water Board, and see you next time.